What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Let's get right into it. Now that the draft has been over for a while now, we let it digest. We got our opinions out there. We put them on social media, or if you like mainstream media, you've seen their opinions, or you kept them to yourself. We all have found our own opinions about certain draft picks and certain draft fits. I want to bring you a video about a handful, maybe a little more, of guys I think I would switch out. Seeing how it played out, how everything went. I would take a couple of, I have about 20, honestly, but I'm gonna keep it to about 5 or 6 this video. Next video, if you want a part two, let me know in the comment section down below. Show this video some love. I'll put out a part two, but this is just my opinion, just my thoughts. I could be off. You could disagree. Let me know in the comments down below. So first off, we're gonna be starting early. Pick 5, Cleveland Browns, Mason Graham. Now, prior to the draft, process, NFL Combine, and all that stuff, I'm a big Mason Graham guy. I thought him to Jacksonville made a lot of sense prior, but him to the Browns, I think they need a little more beef, a little more upside. Mason Graham is good. I don't think he has a chance to be great, in my personal opinion. That's why I thought him being good with Jacksonville and their players, their roster, fit more. But with the Browns, I'm not loving it. I think more beef should have been needed, more upside should have been there. Walter Nolan, all the way down to the Cardinals at pick 16. I thought he could be better. I think his floor is about where Mason Graham is at now, and also his ceiling is way higher, in my opinion. And also go up a little bit from Nolan, you have Kenneth Grant, number 13. Big boy, nose tackle / D tackle. His floor, in my opinion, is similar to, they're different style of guys, but his floor is similar to Graham as well, different in a different way, but his ceiling is way, way, way higher, same as Nolan, than Mason Graham. So, I thought the Browns should have picked a little bit better, and instead of Mason Graham, they would have went up and traded back, and got Grant or Walter Nolan. I thought those two guys made a little more sense. Now going to the back end of the first round for my second swap out, Tyleik Williams, 28, to the Detroit Lions. I liked it. I understood it. Defensive run stopper, a little bit of pass rush juice in him. But man, a lot of people, non-Detroit Lions fans, and before I even get there, Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes has earned enough clout to say, hey, you get one pass. This draft was so weird for Brad Holmes and Detroit Lions. You got Tyleik Williams first round. You left edge rushers on the board. You got Isaac Tesla, a guy who was athletic freak, but no production, and so on and so forth. There were some strange moves by Detroit Lions, but we know, Brad Holmes has done great for the Lions the last couple of years. But staying on topic now, Tyleik Williams, 28 to the Lions. A lot of people, Detroit Lions fans and non-Lions fans, just football fans in general, been screaming for the Lions to get a pass rusher, get an edge rusher, and they left some good ones on. They left some good ones on the board here. I don't understand what they were doing here. Like I said, I get it. I understand a little bit. Big boy, like I said, run stopper, but they have McNeil already. But I know that there were injuries last year, so I understand it. But man, you're leaving JT from Ohio State on the board. You're leaving Mike Green on the board. You're leaving Ezeiruaku from Boston College on the board. That's tough to me. That's tough. I know he's not a great player, a super great player, a high upside, but Jack Sawyer, he went, I want to say, third or fourth to the Steelers. You could have waited for him for a round or two, so I don't know. Nick Scarton, I love him from Texas A&M. There were a lot of guys you could have got, and to not address the for the Lions to not address the edge rushing spot really at all with any top tier talent is tough. It's tough, man. So, shout out to Tyleik Williams, solid player, good run stopper. Like I said, some pass rush juice in there, but man, he left a lot. I think the Lions have a lot of meat on the bone with that pick there. Next up, you have the Miami Dolphins. Pick in the second round, pick 37. They got Jonah. Can't say his last name. Forgive me for that. The guard from Arizona. Not bad at it. They need some help in the trenches on both sides. I love the Kenneth Grant move. I like this move as well. Not mad at it at all. Can't play tackle as well, but probably will start off at a guard. But man, Jalen Waddle, one of my favorite players since his draft, always banged up. Always banged up. Then you have Tyreek Hill. He's wilding out. He's wilding out off the court, off the field, in his activities. So, not speak on that now, but Google it. He's been wilding out. Luther Burden was right there. Luther Burden in a couple of these good head coach slash OC schemes would have been phenomenal. Him with the Commanders, him where he landed at, him with the Bears, him with the Jags, and also him with the Dolphins. That to me made so much sense. The fit was there. It just didn't pan out. The Dolphins valued their trenches more on both sides for the first 2 rounds. There's nothing wrong with that. But Luther Burden being a great secondary option behind Waddle, who's banged up, behind Hill, who's wild. I think that could have been definitely swapped there, in my opinion. But like I said, not the worst thing in the world. But I really like Luther Burden there for the Dolphins. But he landed in a great spot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Then next up, you have Harold Fanning and the Browns. And not Harold, well, I kind of said it wrong, but the Chiefs, excuse me. The Chiefs should have selected Harold Fanning. He went 2 picks later. I don't get it, man. Harold Fanning would have been fun with the Chiefs. You already know, what's his name? Shucks. What's his name? Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift boyfriend, as people like to call him. Travis Kelce is on his last legs. Clearly, clear as day. I like the pick of the UDFA from Clemson. Birmingham, Barstool, whatever his name is. Forgive me for that. But the tight end from Clemson, I believe, went undrafted or late in the rounds. He's solid. He's a solid pickup. They have Noah Gray as well. Cool. But Fanning would have been so fun. So fun to have behind Kelce for a year. And then, like I said, Kelce probably will move on after next season. Then Fanning could be in the mix with Noah Gray. Funny thing is, though, it could be hilarious. Fanning takes over for the Browns as a starting tight end after next season. David Njoku walks, and Njoku replaces Kelce with the Chiefs. That kind of makes sense, too, as well. So that could be a funny, a funny thing going on if it does happen in the future. But Fanning to the Chiefs, that would have been nice in my opinion. Made sense. The Chiefs instead picked Louisville defensive end Ashton Gillette. Not bad, but man, Fanning mixed in with Kelce and Gray, and you could have brought in Fanning to move up Gray to 1, give Kelce a little break here and there, and Fanning go to your 2 tight end spot. That's not bad. It's not bad at all, man. So I wanted to mind to see that personally, but they didn't go that route. But like I said, they did get the guy from Clemson, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is Clemson. He's a good player as well. So that's not the worst situation, but I thought they could have improved a little bit better there at one of the key spots. And then you had the Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I've been saying this for a while. They refuse to get better. Refuse. They will not pick a quarterback with upside. And look, I'm pro Shedeur Sanders, but Jackson Dart was right there. Jackson Dart was right there. They settled for 6th round pick, I want to say. Will Howard, not bad, but no upside there at all. If Will Howard does start or Spot starts this year, he might play well, that's fine. But you got to get some upside at some point if you're Mike Tomlin, and they just keep settling. Even if Rodgers shows up, which is fine, you still want some future stuff. Because let's pay a future asset. Let's say Rodgers plays well. Normally, the Pittsburgh Steelers are never in the top 15. They're barely in the top 20. They just missed it. They missed it today. Well, not today. They missed it in the first round by being 21. But they're not a big trade up team either. So it's like you had your chance to get a Jackson Dart if you like them. I don't know if they like them or not, but to go with Derek Harmon, who's a very good player. I love Harmon a lot. Great replacement potentially for Casey Hayward. But you have guys there. You have, what's my boy from Nebraska a couple years ago? I love him a lot. Shucks, forgot his name on him. But yeah, he's good. Keanu Benton. You drafted another D tackle later on in the draft as well. So I'm like, man, you drafted Jack Sawyer also. So you didn't really need to get Derek Harmon there. He's a great player, though. I like Harmon, and with a good upside, too. I like Harmon a lot. But I would have loved them to really address the quarterback spot. Rodgers coming or not, that's fine. Jackson Dart here would have been perfect. A guy who can grow, a guy who, if Rodgers does come, can learn. If not, he can learn on the spot right away, because I'm throwing in Dart or should any rookie quarterback you have, even Will Howard at round 6, whatever it was, round 5, 6, he's starting for me. Mason Rudolph, I'm cool. We already seen it. We've been there. We've done that. You back up our young fella, whoever it would be, Dart, Shuck, Shador, Dylan Gary, but I don't care. You're backing him up. I'm not starting Mason Rudolph, excuse me, if I'm Tomlin, but they just might, and they're still being held hostage. Well, not take it back because Rodgers did clarify that, but they're still waiting on Rodgers to see what he might do. So it's like, man, it's just tough. The Steelers, they are deciding not to get better, and that's the tough part about it, man. So I do have one more left. It's not really. I don't hate the move, but the Dallas Cowboys, man, pick 12. Come on, man. Tyler Booker, good player, solid player. Step in right away, start. Might be around for 8 to 10 years. Awesome sauce. That's great. But, man, Matthew Golden, man, Ibuka, man, Luther Burden, man, Ty Felton, any receiver, Torrey Horton later in the round, anybody. You didn't get anybody? That's crazy. No receiver to help out Dak. No receiver with upside to replace CD if he goes down as your true number one. Because look, CD was banged up last year, but he played. He played for most of the games, and he played well. You want to have Dak. You want to give Dak the most weapons possible, and the Cowboys are just not doing it. They're just not. I did a video prior to the draft. Tyler Warren, who went and picked later, I wouldn't have hated that either. Loveland, if he was there, something. Give Dak, give CD some hope. And, going line is awesome. It's great. Awesome. I keep Dak healthy. That's cool. Get lanes for the running back. Awesome. But when the going gets tough, you want to be able to throw the ball if need be. And you want to have true weapons. If CD's locked up or down or having a bad game or tired or something, he's off the field, then all you have is Terrapin, Tolbert, and Mingo. I like Tolbert as much as anybody else do, but he's not going to cut it. Terrapin, I like the potential. I like the little gadget stuff. I like the deep shots. He's quick, fast. I like him. But no, he's not number one. Mingo, heck no. So far from what we've seen. So I'm like, I don't love it. So those are my picks. I have a lot more on the list as well. So if you want a part 2, let me know in the comment section down below. But man, a lot of teams, not dare I say they didn't do bad, but I got some critiques, and that Mason Graham one really got me. I'm like, man, Graham. I like Graham a lot, but he's just so small. He's so light for a D tackle. He's quick, still got some power to him, got a little pop to him. But Kenneth Grant can be a monster. Walter Nolan can be a monster if his head on right. But it is Cleveland too, so Walter Nolan might go there and wild out. So, it do make sense to him being in Arizona under a better defensive coach. But man, I just thought Kenneth Grant would have been awesome. Walter Nolan more upside as well. But Grant was not a bad player. None of these guys are bad players. I just thought the fit could have been a little different. But that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.